Hi, everybody. Yay. Okay, so let's see if we have people on. I see Jody's on. Kelly, hey, guys. Is everything okay with the stream? I'm going through a third-party website, so I don't know if it just looks different to me on this end. So if you guys can just type in the chat and let me know. Hey, Lovey. Can you guys hear me okay? There's a grandfather clock in the background. I don't know if you guys can hear it with my headphones on, but I can't shut it off. I can shut off, like, it chimes every 15 minutes. And then it's weird if I just hear the dings after an hour and I don't hear the chimes every 15 minutes. So that's what you hear in the background. Hi, guys. You made it. Yay. So we'll give everyone a couple of minutes to hop on before we get started. I don't know why I was nervous about this live stream today. It's so weird. My anxiety has been like crazy. This past week or two, yesterday, I broke out in full head-to-toe hives before a meeting for my office. So I need this for like my day job. So I need this as much as you guys need this. Wow, the kids won't go back to school until May, the earliest. Wow. I have a feeling they might be out the rest of the year in a lot of states. You can hear me. Okay, so let's get started. I have some notes. I'm going to put them up here. And then hopefully we'll just get to the comments afterwards. Okay, I feel like I'm rusty. It's been a long time since we've gone live. And there's a glare on my glasses. They're blue light blockers because I've had so much screen time recently. So sorry, because I could see that they're giving off like a blue glare. I apologize, guys. Anyway, okay, so let's get started. Oh, my favorite person to see on live. Love you. So we have all been dealing with so much anxiety the past week and a half. And I wanted to hop on here and give you my tips for how I deal with anxiety on a daily basis, because not only is it just during this crazy time right now with everything going on in the world, but also as prison wives and family members and those who support people who are incarcerated, we go through so many situations that cause so much anxiety anyway. Going to visit for me is so anxiety ridden, even though I've been doing it for so many years, that even just until I get through the metal detector, the whole entire morning, from the minute I wake up, all getting ready, driving there, waiting for processing, I'm an anxious mess because we have so much riding on that and so much on the line until we get through. And it's like, all right, my clothes are clear. I'm good. So if you guys can relate, let me know in the comments what your typical triggers are for anxiety, and we'll talk through it. Oh my God, Road to Prison is here. Hey, honey, I haven't seen you in ages. It's been, you guys, ages since I've done a live. So aside from just what's going on right now, here are my tips to get through anxiety anytime, especially when we are going through what we're going through right now. So first of all, I want you guys to realize that what you're feeling is absolutely normal. When we go into anxiety, oh, Jess is here. Hey, Jess. When we go into anxiety, your body does what's called fight or flight. I'm sure you guys have all heard of this at some point in your lives, but that's why right now you're feeling so wound tight. You're probably feeling the jitters. That's honestly why most people went out to the stores. They bought everything off the shelves. They bought all the toilet paper out of the store because they're just so wound up. They're so jittery. They want to either run, they want to flight, they want to hide, they want to just get away from the bear that was attacking us back in the day. This dates all the way back to caveman time. But you can't, so you're running to the store and buying all of the toilet paper. So I want you to know the way that you feel right now is normal. Don't beat yourself up. Don't judge yourself. Don't think something's wrong with you because you're having all this anxiety. You're panicking all the time. That's what happens. That's what your body does. That's normal. You might have some weird emotions. You might have anger responses. You might start fights with your loved ones. You might be short-tempered with the kids. It's all normal. So we're going to talk through that today. Oh my gosh, you guys, when you do YouTube, you get hate comments all the time. But my goodness, last week, I've gotten the most hate that I've ever gotten on videos before in my life. People saying the cruelest things. And I get it. Like, it makes sense because we're all just in a point where our nervous systems are shot at this point. We're constantly on guard. You get a sniffle and you think that your whole family is going to die right now. So I get it. And the other thing is, you might be making some weird, bad decisions right now, or you could possibly feel like you're at the point where you don't want to do anything. You're just frozen because you're scared of what's going on. You don't want to do anything wrong. You don't want to make the kids sick. You don't want to get sick. So, excuse me, it is allergy season in New Jersey. I have asthma. I have very bad seasonal allergies. So if you hear me sniffling and coughing, I feel amazing. I feel great, but it's allergies, I promise. I even saw on CNN the other day, they had a psychologist as a guest star, and she said, right now, the way that our lives are, work is closed, school is closed, people have lost their jobs, people aren't getting paid. And so she actually saw over that first week, people going through a grieving process and people actually going through the stages of grief. And if you think about it, in the beginning, when we first heard about what was going on, I'm not using the name of what's going on because you can't on YouTube right now, but the whole everything, people were like, oh, it's nothing, myself included. Oh, it's nothing. We were in denial. They're just making a big deal out of nothing. It's just marketing. It's just politics. It's this, it's that. And then people started to get depressed when we started to stay home. The gym started closing, kids' school started closing, parents started freaking out that they were going to have to homeschool their kids. You're home for a week, you're isolating yourself socially, you're not interacting with people. So there's depression. And then by Friday, Saturday of last week, people are starting to accept it. They're starting to take this more seriously. They're starting to figure out their new normal. So we are going through this grieving process of our normal life, and that's totally fine and that's okay. So now that I just gave you this, 10-minute lecture on how you're feeling and how normal it is, let's go through some tips on what you can do and how you can kind of temper your anxiety right now. First of all, because we are social beings, and we need to interact with people to stay healthy. Even the most introverted of people, give me a raised hand in the comments if you're introverted. Because in the beginning, I'm like, oh, not the sickness, but this is an introvert's dream come true. I get to stay home and nobody's making me leave my house. Nobody's making me interact with people. Well, that started Monday. By Friday, I was starting to get really depressed and I wanted to be around people. For like extreme introvert, you guys, that's different. That's a different feeling for me because I'm so cool with being by myself. Like for me, driving 6 hours to go see Adam is a treat because I get to be in the car by myself doing what I want to do, stopping when I want to stop. So it just proves that we're social creatures, and eventually we get to the point where we crave interaction with other people. Well, since you need to distance yourself socially from people right now, you can do things like virtual happy hours, virtual dinner. A lot of gyms are even doing classes, or yoga studios and Pilates teachers and fitness enthusiasts. They're actually doing live classes virtually. So you should look and see what's going on in your, whoever you have contact with. And if you do, like on Sunday night, I did a virtual happy hour with my dad and my best friend and my sister. And the night before, we did a virtual happy hour. And I'm not saying you need to drink alcohol because that's probably not the healthiest thing for you to do right now while you're quarantining and trying to keep your immune system in check. But see how you can interact with people in the way that you can interact. We have a volunteer on Strong Prison Wives who did a virtual girls' night in party for our members, our subscribers, last Saturday. So it was a last-minute decision. We're probably going to do them a lot more often. I'm actually working with 3 or 4 other organizations right now. We just had an initial setup call last night to do more virtual meetings and just fun stuff for us while we're stuck in the house now. We might have a comedian come on. We're going to have somebody come on and talk about ways that you can cope through this time, but in a fun, lighthearted way. So look for that. Find your support system. We can do more lives here as well. whatever works for you. Just figure out how you can safely interact with people right now. I know Zoom, the platform Zoom, I think it's ZOOM.us. I think that's what it is, but it's an app you can download on your phone. You can get there through the computer, has been wonderful for keeping people in touch with one another right now. So utilize what you can. Of course, we have all of our support groups on Strong Prison Lives and Families that are amazingly helpful. I'm loving all of the fellow introverts in the comments. I feel you guys. I hear you guys. I see you guys. So I would love to know if you have been struggling as introverts, if you've been struggling with isolating as well, if you're starting to feel that any differently than when you were, let's say, isolating because you're an introvert, but you also had the choice if you wanted to go out and leave and go somewhere. So let me know that in the comments from my introverts. For my extroverts, I'd love to know how this has impacted you. Do you miss the interaction? What are you doing? Are you starting to feel depressed? Are you interacting with other people? And how are you doing that? So let me know in the comments if you're an introvert or an extrovert, and then answer those questions for me, because I think I cannot speak today. A dialogue will be, let's be real, or any day. But a dialogue, I think, will be really helpful for all of us to get each other through this. Okay. So then the next thing that you can do when you're stuck here and you're kind of in this crazy fight or flight, jittery, I want to run, but I can't go anywhere, I feel like I'm on a treadmill or I'm standing in place, is that do what you can. That will help your anxiety. So if you need to wear a mask, if you need to put on all of the hand sanitizer, if you need to wash your hands 55 times a day, do it. Empower yourself to do what makes you feel good right now. Now, I'm saying that with the caveat, and I know this is like maybe a little too late, but don't go out to the store and buy all of the hand sanitizer off of the shelves. Let's save some for the elderly who don't have access to it. Let's save somebody for everybody else. Save some for everybody else. There is no reason that you need 110 bottles of hand sanitizer in your house at one time. You are not allowed to resell that on Amazon. I actually saw something. I did not fact check this, so I don't know if this is legit or not, but I saw something online that a guy had his garage filled, like I'm talking shelves filled with hand sanitizer, and he was going to sell it on Amazon, and they blocked him. They won't let him do it. So rationally, but do what you feel like you need to do. If you feel like you need to go somewhere wearing a mask or a scarf or glasses or hats or whatever it is, do it, and do it proudly. Who cares what other people think? It's your way of empowering yourself, of finding your power and having control over what you can control right now. Remember also to help people see their power. So I was watching Homeboy Industries' father, Greg Boyle, did a video. I think it was over the weekend it was released, or late last week. And he was saying right now it's kind of a beautiful reminder where we get to remind each other of our power. We get to help. I don't think that there's a way that you can empower somebody else. I think that's a misnomer. I think that the word empower means to find your own power, but I think that you can and that, I know that's semantics, and I say we empower people all the time, but the point is, I think inspiring somebody to find their own power right now to help them empower themselves it's beautiful. I mean, think about it. You see so many businesses right now who are offering free services. You see so many people reaching out a hand saying, how can I help you? In Father Greg's Homeboy Industries little talk the other day, he was saying you can do it through humor, through laughs, send each other gifts, send each other memes, make each other laugh, remind each other that the world isn't ending. We're going to be okay, and we're going to help each other get through it. So whatever it is that you can do to find your power and inspire somebody else to find theirs, I think is going to help you feel in control of what you can control right now. As prison wives and family members, a lot of our anxiety comes around not being able to control things, being out of control. So of the whole entire world, we're a community who's probably a little bit more equipped to deal with this because we're kind of used to this out of control feeling. So how are you going to empower yourselves? How are you going to help inspire other people to empower themselves? Let me know in the comments too. And then we'll go back and we'll read the comments in a little bit. Okay. The next thing that you can do to reduce your anxiety right now is to limit your news and media intake. So for me, as an empathetic person, I find myself so wrapped up and absorbed in the news of this. Also, like when tragedies happen, when that thing in Connecticut happened, I don't know how to word it, but it was in, I can never remember the name of it, but in the little kids' school, you guys know what I'm talking about. I found myself literally at work with headphones in, minimized YouTube screens or news screens, just watching that all day long for the days afterwards, just absorbing that all day long, all day long, all day long. And I didn't understand why. And now looking back, I realized that I think as an empathetic person, I'm sorry if you could hear the clock in the background, but I absorb stuff from people without realizing it, because as empaths, we try to take that off of other people. I'll absorb it so you don't have to feel it anymore. And to an extent, majority of us are empathetic people, some of us more than others. For me, I'm an extreme empath. Why is everything extreme with me? I'm extremely empathetic. I'm extremely introverted. But those aren't bad things. Those aren't flaws. Everybody has their own qualities that make up their beautiful, unique character. But the point is, a lot of times we want to absorb everything, and it becomes overwhelming. It becomes depressing. You don't even realize you're doing it until you're 6 hours into a CNN hole. And next thing you know is how the numbers of people that have contracted this, the number of people who have fatalities, and all of these negative things. My sister sent a video the other day, and it was like, not everything about this whole thing is negative. And it was this like 8-minute video about all of the positives that have come out of this. The elderly people who have actually survived this, the things going on in other countries right now where this originated, we think, where they're kind of over that hump right now. Things getting better that we're not seeing because we're only absorbing the negative. So I want you to, of course, stay on top of the news. You have to keep yourself informed. You have to keep yourself well informed, but have your few trusted news sources. Absorb what you need to, maybe once or twice a day, and let everything else go. We also have to remember, in the day and age of social media, that there is so much fake news out there. I was listening to a psychiatrist speak the other day when I was taking some notes to make for this video. And she said that there was this huge thing that went around the internet about how eating ice cream can increase your chances of catching this germ right now because it lowers your body temperature. She's like, no, not even close to true. But so many people are like, oh, okay, no ice cream. Check. That means I can't have ice. That means I can't have a frozen smoothie. Oh my gosh, you need the fruit and however, and the vegetables and the nutrients and all of that, however you can get it right now. If the only way that you can get fruit down is by eating a frozen smoothie, by all means do it. Lowering your body temperature is not going to have any negative effect. So the point is, get the news from sources that you trust as being factual a couple of times a day. Don't get sucked in like I did on Sunday. I think I watched maybe 6 hours of CNN, literally, as I'm cleaning the house, as I'm just laying there, as I'm doing work on the computer. Not good. The next thing that I want you to remember, or I want to share with you about decreasing your anxiety and your paranoia during this time, is maybe obvious, but maybe not. Save big decisions for less stressful times. So you don't want to make decisions like, I need to move across the country to be with my loved one right now. You don't want to make decisions, like lifelong decisions, while you are in a stressful state, because you'll probably make the wrong decision. When your brain is anxious, all it's focused on is getting you out of that situation that your brain feels is threatening your life. All your brain is trying to do is get you to a point where you can live and survive. Okay. So you can't actually slow your brain down enough during these times to weigh out all of your options, to weigh the good, to weigh the bad, to say, is this really right for me? How is this going to feel in 5 days. How's this going to feel in 5 months? How will this decision affect me and my family in 5 years? Because all your brain wants to do is whatever it can to get you to safety. You're too busy worried about buying toilet paper off the shelf. That's not rational. How are you going to make a rational, not you, I'm just saying you in general masses, how are you going to make a rational decision right now? So if you're going to, Melinda, by the way, I'm not talking to you. I wrote these notes before it. I think your move is genius going earlier right now. Sorry. I just wanted to make that really clear because it just popped into my head that Melinda was texting me yesterday about moving across the country, but she's been weighing that out. And it's actually a very, very positive thing in her life that she's been talking about for like a year and saving towards and moving towards and already making plans for jobs and being with family and all that stuff. So just want to make it clear, I'm not talking to Melinda. And to you guys that have been planning these kinds of things for a really long time, it might just be bad timing. But I'm saying not going into a decision right now. I hope you guys can see the difference. Okay. Okay, good. The next tip is to take some time every single day to let your body calm down, So what does that look like for you? What does calming down look like for you? Maybe some prayer, maybe some meditation, maybe some deep breathing exercises, maybe yoga, maybe dancing it all out and just like literally shaking the stress out of your body. Whatever that is. And remember that you get to choose how you're going to use this frenetic, crazy energy every single day. So if you wake up extra stressed one morning because maybe you wake up with the sniffles, you don't realize, oh, it's probably just seasonal allergies. You're like, oh my God, that's it. My whole entire family, we're done for. How are you going to get that energy out of your body in a calming manner? So maybe you have to put the kids in front of the TV for an extra 20 minutes so you can go and do some yoga. So you can just sip on some water. Maybe you can diffuse some essential oils. Whatever it is that you need to do, you get to choose how you're going to get that energy out of your body every day. For me, I've been trying to, this is what works for me. So I don't know if it's going to work for you. I've been trying to get outside, breathe fresh air, get some vitamin D from the sun, and to somehow move my body outside every single day. Now, yesterday that didn't happen for me. I woke up and I had the world's worst allergic reaction to I don't know what. I've never had a reaction. Actually, this is the second time in my whole entire life that I've had an allergic reaction like this. So Sunday night, my dad was adorable. And he made me a surprise dinner. It was all seafood. I have no issues with seafood that I'm aware of. So we had seafood soup. It was really, really, really spicy. Then we had a seafood salad that was delicious. Then we had like this octopus dish with broccoli rabe that he made for me and beans. Oh my God, it was so good. We also had red wine. The next morning, I woke up in the middle of the night with this like weird response. I was sweating profusely. I had ringing in my ears. I got up because I needed to go to the bathroom and I felt like this blood pressure crash that I was like seeing stars. I was dizzy, right? So I laid back down in bed, fell asleep, woke up not feeling 100%, but like not awful. So I couldn't really eat that much. I ate like half my breakfast. I drank, you guys know my big cup. I drank like maybe this much of some matcha tea. I was sitting on the floor and from my pants, I was wearing black leggings. I realized that there was still dog hair from my sisters when they both had their dogs here. And I was running the diffuser with essential oils. I had a meeting at 10 o'clock. I'm telling you all these details for a reason. It was a video meeting that my boss for my day job said that we all had to be on video. I've never used this computer before, my work computer. I'm going like this because it's sitting over there, for any type of video conferencing before. So I have to show up, right? I quickly took a shower because I wanted to this was like 10:10. My meeting's at 11. I'm feeling nervous about it. I have to make sure I can get online, show my face, blah, 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 look presentable, take my shower, use a lavender body wash that's all natural ingredients, but I've used it a few times before. I've never had a problem. Get out of the shower. My whole entire body flushed, got red, blotchy. The worst was my face, my ears. Everything was just on fire, red, blotchy. I don't know if it was hives that didn't come with like the dots. I don't know what it was, but I was like, I'm very good at trying to talk myself down from things. So I'm just talking myself down. It'll be fine. I'm getting dressed and I keep getting like the flushes throughout my ears and my face was all blotchy and red. Of course, because I have this meeting in like 30 minutes at this point. Thank God I had some Zyrtec from left over from my mom's funeral, because I'm allergic to all the flowers at the funeral home, and I was like snotting all over people. Not fun. So I realized, I'm like, what the heck is this allergic reaction from? Well, it could be the fish, it could be the wine, it could be the dog hair, it could be the essential oils, could be the stress from the meeting, or it could be all of those and seasonal allergies on top of it. It could just be this freak thing from all of the allergens all together. But the point is, I don't even know what my point was. What was my point? Here we go again. I always do this. I had to just calm myself down and talk myself out of this and recognize that I wasn't like contaminated with this germ. I don't think. I had to make sure that I was not overreacting and thinking, oh my God, I'm going to die, and giving myself a worse anxiety response on top of whatever was happening. Take myself out of my shoes. I called my sister, who gets hives and this type of reaction sometimes from red wine. So I was like, tell me what it's like. I FaceTimed her so she could see my face and my ears. And so she was like, you're going to be okay. Just that Zyrtec's going to kick in. And once it did, it was fine. Oh, talking about going outside. So after I took that Zyrtec, I felt off the rest of the day. So I didn't go outside. I didn't exercise yesterday. I needed to rest and make sure that whatever that was kind of like healed itself. Sorry, the table's moving. But so I will go back outside today, because I went out this morning. I got a little bit of fresh air, and I know that's what I needed to do, because I was like, when I went outside, like, I need this. It feels really good to me right now. So what feels really good to you right now? What's going to help lower your anxiety? But let's go back to that point. I was kind of making 2 points in one before. When I called my sister, I was talking myself down. Who's your go-to person for that? Because we have like anybody right now, anytime somebody sniffles, anytime somebody coughs, you think that you have this, you've been infected and you're going to pass it along. So that makes so much sense. Your body's in fight or flight already. Who can you turn to, or how can you calm yourself down so you could be rational and think, okay, I ate seafood, I had wine, I had this, and this. It's probably an allergic reaction. It's probably not that germ. Let's say it is that germ. How would I respond? When would I go to the doctor? Where's my thermometer? Let's get everything ready. Instead of freaking out like, it's all going to happen. My sister texted me. She thought that there was this germ had gotten on her plane a couple weeks ago when this first started. They had flown to Florida. So we just talked through it. I said, Chris, her name's Christina. I was like, Chris, don't you think you would know? Because her husband just woke up one morning deciding that they had this germ. And so I said, well, don't you think you would know if somebody on your plane had it? Don't you think you would have gone into quarantine? I said, and anyway, like worst case scenario, let's say you do. Your kids are very healthy. You guys are really healthy. Back then, like we thought kids couldn't get it anyway. I said, so worst case, you guys quarantine, stay away from all the grandparents, and you let it run its course. You guys will be okay. And she's like, thank you. That's all I needed. So know how you're going to talk yourself down from these things. Here's another example. This one's really funny. I was convinced that I had this the other day, right? And I'm short of breath. I'm like, oh my God, I'm short of breath. Oh my God, my nose is running. Oh my God, I'm freezing. Oh my gosh, I can't breathe. It's getting worse, right? Guess what I was doing? I was on a run in 50 degrees. Of course, I'm short of breath. I haven't ran that far in a long time. It's cold out. Of course, my nose is running. It's cold out. Of course, I'm getting chills. It's cold out. So that's a joking way to remind you that you have to stay rational in this and talk yourself through these anxieties. I hope I'm not talking in circles. If you guys have questions, go to the comments and I will get to them as soon as I can. And I could see you guys are kind of interacting in the chat anyway. So thank you for that. Okay, next up, this one's really simple. Just laugh. And I know everybody has a different sense of humor, and some people can say, well, that's disrespectful to laugh. This is a crisis and da, 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 da. I am not saying in any way to be disrespectful, but we have to learn and remind ourselves that laughter is the best medicine. It's scientifically proven that your cells can regenerate themselves and they won't kind of like, how do I say this? Morph the wrong way when it lessens the chances for them to morph is the wrong word, but duplicate, the wrong way if you're lighthearted and you're happy and you're laughing. So make sure to find the silver linings, make sure to find the funny, make sure to just find the GIFs, however you say that, find the memes, laugh. Talk to people, call your friends who were the class clown and have fun conversations with them. Laughter is going to get you through this. Staying lighthearted while you're being serious, of course, taking precautions and all of that stuff. But this is where Adam and I do very, very, very well together, because Adam is serious business. My friends call him the professor all the time. And he does have a good sense of humor, but sometimes you have to like pull it out of him to get him to be playful. On the other hand, there's me, who he has this joke. He's like, all I have to do is just like jokingly, like proverbially throw a ball and you're chasing it, because I'm a kid. Like, I want to have fun. I want to laugh at everything. You guys see, I work my tail off, but I'm laughing and enjoying life while I'm doing it. So a lot of times I'll just start joking with him or being sarcastic, or like at Visit, I'll just start making funny faces just to get him to laugh and to have that banter with me back and forth and to loosen up. So call your friends. If you're the Adam in the situation, call your row friends. That'll make you laugh and get you through this in a lighthearted, fun way. And if you can't, at least look for the silver linings and find the positives. So Wednesday, I have like an educational video for you guys to help you with writing letters to your loved ones. It's going to be fun. But starting on Friday, I filmed a few videos for you guys where we're talking about compassion in criminal justice. And I'm sharing some really funny, but fun stories with you guys on positive things that are happening in criminal justice, or that have happened in criminal justice, where some of them are funny and some of them are serious, but in a beautiful, good way. So find the good, find the happy, find the fun, dig for the silver linings. I've told you guys this for years, but especially right now. Okay, the next one is, well, I kind of covered this already, but talk yourself down. So is this rational? Is this not rational? Was I overreacting? Was I overheated? Maybe you need to take a few breaths and a few steps before. Okay, Mrs. Rogers, what's annoying? Is something happening with like the audio or the video, or are you responding to somebody else? Just let me know, because I want to make sure that there's nothing weird going on, glitchy. Because like I said, I'm not doing this on YouTube. I'm doing this through a third-party platform. So I was able to schedule this. So just let me know in the comments if something funky is happening with me, or with the video or anything. Okay. So just know the difference between those two, and ask yourself, is this rational? Am I responding rationally? Oh, that's what I was saying. You might need to take a couple of breaths before you respond to somebody, because there's a lot of like anger right now, a lot of pent up frustration that you might be taking out on your loved ones. Like I said before, the comments on YouTube were real this week, and I started to get like in my feelings. And I had Jody on the phone who talked me down, who was like, first of all, she was like, girl, I would have reacted the same way. So she kind of acknowledged she did. She acknowledged my pain. She was like, you have absolutely every right to do this. Here are some tips to help you through this. Here's what I think can help you get past this. Maybe here's what it is versus here's what it is. So those are the things that can help you get through this. Do you need a few breaths before you respond to your loved one? Is your phone call going in a bad direction because you're just angry and you have frustration? So, got it, Mrs. Rogers. Thanks. Okay. So you might just tell your loved one, maybe this is not something we need to talk about right now. We're arguing. So let's just enjoy the rest of this 15-minute phone call or whatever it is. And let's go back to that if you can. Let's go back to that after things are a little bit back to normal. Honestly, I'm sorry I snapped on you. It's because you've been on lockdown, because they don't want this germ to get to you. I've been concerned. I haven't heard from you. So I thought maybe you had it. Maybe it was there. I'm not getting straight answers when I call the facility. So I apologize. It's just my stress and my nerves. Sometimes you just have to let them know what's going on here, because it's not your natural reaction to things. And I've been stressing this for years as well, but communication is key in every single relationship. So just tell your loved one how you're feeling. Tell your kids, I'm sorry I snapped on you. That's not how I meant to handle that. Let's talk through this. Everybody's stressed out right now. You went from being just a mom to a mom and a teacher and a short order cook and all of the other things, a housewife, a housekeeper that I, without children, don't have to go through. But I've been checking in on all of my friends who are now stay-at-home moms, teachers, this, that, the other, and just making sure they're okay. Check in with each other. And if you do happen to have a moment of frustration and snap on your kids, let's go back to number one. You're normal. That's going to happen. This is real life. Talk through it. Apologize if you have to. That will go so far with your kids because, first of all, that's a life lesson. Okay, I can apologize to people when I'm wrong. And second of all, it wasn't me, because where do kids go? Where do we go, even as adults? What did I do wrong? I did something wrong. Here's an example. Last night, I was talking to Adam for maybe like 5 minutes and the phone gets cut off. I'm like, oh my God, I had the phone on speaker. Nobody else was in the house, but I'm like, maybe they thought it was a third party call. Maybe they're getting strict with that kind of stuff. Maybe I said something during the call, which I never do, but I'm like, maybe I said something during the call that they got pissed. It broke some sort of whatever rule that they made that day and they cut us off. It winds up somebody hit a button and shut off all of the phones. He told me in an email this morning, but just going to breathe through it. If something happens, go back to number one. It's normal. Your body's in anxiety. It's totally fine. It's not you. It's just how you're responding in a normal way to the situation. Now let's work through it. Now let's work past it. How am I going to calm myself down? Who am I going to apologize to if I have to? Who can I lean on and call that will talk me down, talk me through this? What exercises can I do to talk through this? Who can make me laugh? What can I watch to make me laugh? Maybe I just need 5 minutes outside, breathing in fresh air, and then we'll all come back. And then we'll just reconvene and everyone will be good as far as our new normal right now. That's it. Okay, next one. Practice acceptance. We kind of just went through that. I'm beating myself to the punch on all of these. It is what it is. One of my friends says that that's a prison thing. I've been saying that for ages and ages and ages and ages since high school. So I can't say it's a prison thing for me. But one of my friends is like, I've never heard that term until I got involved in a prison relationship. And she said it's a prison term. You guys let me know in the comments. Is it? I don't know. I say it all the time. I hear people saying it all the time. It could be a very frustrating phrase, but it also can be one of the most true phrases that will ever come out of your mouth. It is what it is. It was what it was. It will be what it will be. And we might not have any control over it at this moment. So let it happen. And you choose to respond in a way that you get to empower yourself to do and to control what you can. That isn't just this whole bug germy deal going on right now in our world. It is life. It's anything with visiting a facility, with having a loved one locked up, with court dates, pre-trial, trial, sentencing, and appeals, parole, POs coming from every single walk of and part of this process, release, homecoming. That you will just have to sometimes accept that it is what it is. So how am I going to react? How am I going to empower myself to react in the best way that I can? Don't let it say, well, it is what it is. That's it. Washing my hands of it for 20 seconds with antibacterial soap. Just kidding. But it is what it is. I'm done. I'm going to lay down and take it. It is what it is. What am I going to do to power through it? There's a difference there. Okay. The last thing is I want to share a couple of techniques that I have used for many, many, many years. Oh, it was a 12-step term? I didn't know that. Okay, maybe it is. I don't know. I don't know where it originated, but I've just been saying it my whole life. Okay, we're talking about it is what it is. The last thing is I want to share a couple of techniques I've been using for many, many, many years to get me through anxiety. I do this at Visit all the time. I do these before phone calls at work all of the time. So if you want to take notes, now's your time to do it. But really, it's so easy. You don't have to. You'll remember it. Okay. The first one is called alternate nostril breathing. It is a technique that engages your parasympathetic nervous system. So you have your central nervous system that's firing all the time. When you are in fight or flight, when you're in anxiety-ridden situations, your nervous system is overfiring, okay? However, on the flip side, when you're falling asleep, your parasympathetic nervous system, so it's called PSN, I don't know, your parasympathetic nervous system kicks on, and that slows down your central nervous system. The parasympathetic nervous system kicks on, and that's what calms your body down enough to go to sleep. Also, when a bear is hibernating, they're about to go into hibernation for the winter, their parasympathetic nervous system flips on, and that's what allows them to go into hibernation. So saying that to say, when your parasympathetic nervous system is on, it will, of course, lower everything, lower anxiety, and it'll calm your body down. One way you could do this is alternate nostril breathing. So what you're going to do is you're going to hold one nostril. This one's easier to do at home, by the way. Like this one I don't do in public that much unless I can kind of like hide my face because you're looking weird. You're holding your nostrils back and forth. But you're going to hold one nostril and you're going to breathe. Inhale a deep breath through the open nostril. Once you inhale all your air, you're going to let go of the nostril you were holding. You're going to hold the one that was just open and you're going to exhale the air out of the one that was just closed. Then you're just going to alternate that. So now this one's open. It's the one I just exhaled from. I'm going to breathe all the way in through this nostril. I'm going to flip my fingers. I'm going to let this one go and I'm going to exhale. Okay. So, and now I'm breathing in this one. Okay. So yeah, now we have to allergy season. Okay. That is going to trigger your parasympathetic nervous system. And that's going to and all you have to do is just a few, maybe 4 or 5 different alternate nostril breaths. Sorry, guys. I just totally got my allergies going. But it is so soothing. Sometimes before a conference call at work, I'll run into the ladies' room and I'll do that because I can deal with very angry clients. My work, like it's not like here, I'm going to sell you a product. You're going to get this product. The deal is done. It's closed. That's not how what I do for a living works. I have to prove that what they bought is working all the time. And I cannot guarantee results. It's just, it might happen. It might not happen. It's a really strange type of situation. But I'll get clients that call up all the time, like, it's not working, man. And I get anxious before calls sometimes, especially if I know that this client is upset. Or if I'm going into visit, when I'm driving there, I'll do some breathing because I know I'm going to be anxious going through the metal detector and, 5 million things can go wrong. That's really helpful. Another one that's a little bit easier to do in public. Sorry, hang on. Another one that's a little bit easier to do in public is just 5-second breaths. So what you're going to do is you're going to inhale deep for a slow count of 5. You're going to hold that breath for a slow count of 5. And then you're going to exhale for a slow count of 5. That's going to do the same thing. It's just going to calm everything down. So we could do it together really quick. That's it. And you're just going to repeat that 5-second breaths, 5 seconds in, 5-second hold, 5 seconds out. I do this at visit all the time in the processing room because you're so like, for me, I just feel all that frenetic energy, right? When I'm being processed for visit and I'm overstimulated. I'm already, first of all, I'm over caffeinated because I'm trying to get my caffeine in so I don't get a headache. I have to work on that. But anyway, people are coming in. People are trying to cut in line, filling out paperwork, asking questions. This one's over here coughing her brains out. I'm trying to stay away from her germs. I'm a little bit of a germaphobe since I should make a whole video about how going into prisons made me a germaphobe. I was never like this before. But anyway, this one's coughing over here in my hair. This one's hitting her kid. This one's on top of me asking me 5 million questions. This one's talking about everything that she smoked last night, wondering if she can get into visit. And I'm like, stop talking to me. I'm not even going to answer you. Wondering if I'm going to get in. You guys know the drill. So I will just sit there. Like, I remember this one time specifically. Oh, this was like the worst experience of visit. I got in at maybe 7:50 because we're not really supposed to get onto the property before 8 o'clock. So I made it downstairs and something was holding everything up. And so we couldn't get paperwork. We couldn't get pens. So we're waiting in there. There was maybe like a handful of us. They tell us to come back after count. Something happened. So we come back after count, which is at 10. I think it's at like 10:30, 10:45. So I come back. But in the meantime, this bus comes in from New York. And when they pull the bus up to the property, They go down to the front of the building, which is this big semicircle parking lot. But the visitor parking lot is up a level, up like maybe, I don't know, like 100 yards. And there's this big staircase that we have to come down in order to get into that semicircle. But buses or like handicapped people drop people off in that front. So this bus pulls up. I'm like at the top of the stairs. All these people, I get in before these people somehow, but they come into the processing room and they all start grabbing the pens that are on a table to fill out the paperwork. So I have no pen. They all hand the pen to each other one by one by one by one. So now I'm like 50 people deep by the time that the pen gets to me. I got to that facility, what did I say, 7:50 that morning. I did not get in to see Adam until 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Not that that's out of the ordinary for a lot of you guys that are here watching this. What we go through to get there, the amount of money that we spend, days off of work, overnight drives for some of us. It's just excruciating. It's anxiety ridden because then you're like, it's not like I have my cell phone for when he calls me freaking out, wondering if I'm dead or alive. You guys know how this goes. Adam's better at that because it's been so many years, but I'm just saying hypothetically for you guys. And I remember I was at the point where I was very close to tears. The woman next to me was in serious tears because she had traveled from the other side of the country and it was her first visit in maybe 10 years. She has her young kids. In fact, the cops were really nice to her. They kept coming and peeking their heads in and saying, "Is so-and-so's wife here?" And she said, "That's me. And he just wants you to know that we're okay back there. He wants to make sure you're okay." They were giving messages for this woman, which was, I thought, really sweet. So this whole time I'm thinking to myself, calm down, girl, calm yourself down, because the last thing you need to do is go into that visit room all riled up and heated and get Adam riled up and heated, because this is beyond anyone's control. It was absolutely messed up what those girls did with the pen, but what's done is done. So I started just practicing my breathing techniques in there. I have so many of these. Those are 2 of probably like hundreds that I have. So just so you guys know, I share tons more of those in the comeback code. So if you're interested in knowing all of the exercises I use, not only for my anxiety, which there's more in there of those, but also for goal setting and to get me through all of the tough times, to build up my self-confidence, because I worked really, really, really hard at it and I still struggle with it sometimes. Self-doubt, insecurities. Those are all the exercises that I've used. This is not a sales pitch or anything like that, but it just popped into my head while I'm talking. The link is always in the description box of all of my videos. I usually put it up in the card somewhere too, but it's at bit.ly/comeback code, all lowercase, all one word. I know somebody was telling me one time the link didn't work. That's because I made the B of Bitly capital. I didn't realize it was case sensitive. If somebody wants to pop it in the comments, that's fine. If not, no big deal. But just popped in my head that is a hugely helpful resource, because literally as I was doing these things when I was writing the book, I was just writing them all down. Oh my gosh, it's my friend Malik. I'll tell you why that's funny. I was writing them all down to add them to the book for you guys. The reason why it's not funny that Malik's calling, it's amazing. He is a criminal justice warrior. And in fact, when Adam and I got cut off the phone last night, he was telling me about an email that he had received from Malik that was good, potentially something good legally, but literally as he was talking, the phone got cut off. So I immediately picked up the phone and called Malik and I'm like, "Hey, what email did you send Adam?" He's like, "Sweetheart, I send like 100 emails a day. I have no idea." But I think he was probably just calling me because he found the email. Anyway, okay. So I think that is all my notes. I know we've babbled, wow, for 48 minutes. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I'm so long-winded. But why don't we get a discussion going in the comments? We could stay on as long as you guys want. Let's see. Let me look through the comments, see what we've got. Oh, Melinda, that's amazing. She said, "I'm getting time off and I'm doing the things I never have time for." I love that. Cleaning my room, washing bedding, washing makeup brushes, blasting music from my teen years, and goofing off. Oh my God, those are all amazing. What's really funny is that everybody has all this free time and I am slammed with work between my day job, between videos, between I'm setting up all of these extra meetings to try to get you guys some more support. Everything, by the way, is free. You guys, would never even try to charge for anything right now, but working with different organizations to try to get some support groups going, some fun stuff out there for you guys. So my days have been jam-packed, and I'm so not complaining about that. I love it. Leave me alone in a house for as many days as possible, and I will get so much work done because I don't have, well, I do right now, but like over the weekend, I got so much work done. Saturday, I worked all day because I don't have my day job standing in the way. Okay. But to Melinda's point, if you're home doing nothing, what can you get done that's been sitting there and you've been looking at going, I really need to get to that, but I don't have time. Now's your golden opportunity. Oh my gosh. Yes, that's such a good point. We hope this will be better in 2 weeks when really everybody stays home and do what's needed to do. Yes, please stay home, everybody. I can't get my dad to stay home for the life of me, but I've been doing my part. So please do your part, because my sister-in-law was saying the other day that all the parks were filled with kids. I think now, since they implemented a different rule over the weekend here in New Jersey, but kids aren't home from school to have an early summer vacation. Kids are home from school to be quarantined from one another so they don't bring the germs to each other and then carry them home to parents and grandparents and that kind of thing. You guys all already know this, but I just wanted to repeat that comment. Don't make life decisions while anxious. Easier said than done when you suffer from anxiety, period. Yes, I have suffered with anxiety my whole entire life. So, and I know for us, here's the problem. You don't know what's speaking sometimes. Like, I'll be anxious and I don't know if it's actually a situation that I need to be anxious about, or if it's a situation where it's just my anxiety taking over my brain. That's where it's really good to have your trusted confidants, people that can coach you through it and help you decide, help you talk through your decisions, weigh the pros and the cons, because you're going to have anxiety about everything. If you're an anxious person, you're going to have anxieties about the pros, you're going to have anxieties about the cons, you're going to have anxiety and fear of success, you're going to have anxiety and fear of failure. And so what us anxious people do usually is nothing. We get paralyzed with fear. What you need is somebody trusted that can slowly pull you out of it in a way that makes you feel comfortable. Because I know Adam sometimes is very different from me. He doesn't struggle with anxiety the way I do. And he'll say stuff to me and it'll make me more anxious. And I'm like, stop. You're freaking me the heck out. You're making me feel like I'm not good enough, like I can't do this, just because you do things different from me, this, that, and the other thing. So trusted people who talk to you in the way that you need to be talked to. That doesn't mean coddled. I have trusted friends who will rub my back and at the same, I mean, not literally, but who will kind of coddle me for a couple of minutes and then be like, let's go, keep it moving, girl. How are you going to move out of this? So I'm not saying people who are going to just, everything's okay, and be that yes friend. It's nice to call that yes friend first, then call the friend who's going to say, all right, suck it up, buttercup. How are we going to get you through this? Anxiety or not, where do you want to be? And how are we going to reverse engineer and get you there? Does that make sense? Okay, what else do we have? Do the people over there buy so much crazy stuff too? Oh my gosh, yes, the store. Well, I haven't been to the store since Friday or Saturday, but it was still pretty empty and still pretty packed with people. So I think that's like a whole entire country thing. So I don't know if the toilet paper's back, but thankfully I had some. I already had some. It's a great time to build relationships with one another more than ever. Yes. Jane's cranky today. Sister can't be within 6 feet of me, but I'm supposed to get the door for every package that's delivered to her with her online shopping addiction. She's in pain and it's, oh, I'm so sorry. There's going to be days where we all wake up cranky. You are entitled to it. And it's like I was saying before, and it's like we always say, I didn't say this before, but let's add this 24-hour rule. If you want to be cranky for 24 hours, be cranky for 24 hours. Don't be cranky for a week. Otherwise, you're going to fall down a rabbit hole and then you're going to wind up being a miserable human being and miserable to be around. But if you want to be cranky for 24 hours because your sister keeps saying, go to the door and get the packages, be cranky and tell her to slow it down. Slow your roll, sis. I'll get to the packages when I get to the packages. So I feel you, girl. I've been cranky too for a few days. Sorry if you could hear the phone in the background. So hyped to see you live for the first time. Oh, I'm so happy you're here live for the first time. I'm glad you guys are enjoying my advice. That makes me feel good because, oh, Lisa, I'll get to that because sometimes I just babble. Lisa said tapping is also really good for stress and anxiety, but it's not really practical now. So you could tap yourself. If you guys just look up tapping, it's very cool. You like tap meridian points on your face. I'm not sure if I'm doing the right ones. I know there's like over here, stress points over here, back of your thumb. And you do positive affirmations while you're doing it and you breathe through it. Very cool technique that I rarely do, but you don't have to do it on somebody else because right now you're not supposed to be touching one another, but you could tap on yourself. Great point, Lisa. Oh no, Road to Prison. Was there a donation that I missed? I'm not on YouTube for you guys that are just joining. I'm using a third-party platform. So I don't even see, oh my gosh, I didn't even see any donations. So Road to Prison called out Kiki. Thank you so much. I can't see the amount. I can't see the donation or anything like that, but thank you, Road to Prison, for getting that. And thank you so much for the generosity. We appreciate it so much. Oh, yay, Karen, you figured out the live chat. Okay. Can everybody do me a favor also, if whoever's still here, and thumbs up this video? I forgot to say that earlier, but it just helps me out so much in YouTube for us to get thumbs up and likes. And it's just like an algorithm thing in YouTube. It's hard to explain. It's hard to understand. Really, nobody understands. We had this trick question on a job interview one time. I had a trick question on a job interview test one time, and it said, what is Google's algorithm? Nobody knows. If you knew, you would crack Google. So got that question wrong back then. Okay, I think I got through all the comments. So I'll let you know who donated. Thank you, Road to Prison. If you let me know who donated, I will I'll shout them out on the next live. If you guys enjoyed this, we can do more of these maybe weekly during this whole pandemic. I don't know if I could say that word, during this whole stay-at-home thing. And I won't wear blue light blocking glasses, so you don't see this crazy flashback. We're all just learning together. If you guys have requests also for filmed videos, I'm trying to take some time and do more film videos while I have the time at home in between like conference calls and work stuff. So let me know if you have questions or the ones that I film that you really resonate with and like, and I will do more of that content. My first live, so trying to figure out what's what. Oh, it's hard. I'm telling you, it's like my 55th millionth live, and I still, not really, but I've done a lot of lives. I've watched a lot of people's lives, and I still can't figure things out. So we're all here to learn from one another and together. Okay, you guys, I guess that's it. We've been on for almost an hour. I love you for being here. This was so much fun for me. Next time will be a little bit more streamlined. And if you guys liked it, where I can give a thumbs up. Oh, you know what? I don't know, but I know Road to Prison is great at that. We could just watch all your videos and get through this. Yay! The full fight or flight thing is called fight, flight, freeze, fawn. Oh, I'm going to look that up. I didn't know that. Oh, so we just shortened it, I guess, in modern times. Very interesting. I did know that there was freeze in there, but wow, I didn't know. Interesting. But yes, those of us with major anxiety do wind up in paralysis in frozen mode. Keep losing internet connection. Oh no, is it me? Is it true that Trump is opening for people to go back to work in the US already? I don't know. I do know that my state just put in a put into effect that only essential businesses and everybody else has to stay home. So maybe on a national level he did, but on state levels I think it's different. I don't know, but I'll look into that. I know there was a press conference at noon that I had just found out about 15 minutes before this call. And I think he was going to talk about maybe doing clemencies for during this, but also he did say on his press conference, I think it was on Sunday, that it would only be, he repeated himself 3 times, completely non-violent people. So I don't know. That brings us back to the whole crime of violence being too vague terminology. What's completely non-violent? Is that white collar? Is that lifers for pot? Is that low-level drug offender? What is completely non-violent? Because to you, that might be something completely different than that completely different than that is to me, if that makes sense. Okay. So we had Mrs. Rogers. Thank you so much for the 20. Oh, you guys, I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. And Kez, thank you. Okay, wait. Kez, was that 20? Thank you so much. And Kylie, thank you so much. I love you guys. You are such huge help. Everything that comes through here goes to helping Adam's release. So I can't tell you how much I appreciate it and how much I love you guys for that. It means the world. Most states will be on some sort of lockdown and only essential workers are allowed. Oh, okay. Melinda said Walking the Tiger by Levine is a good book that goes through the responses of anxiety. That's great to know. I think I want it. I think I want it on Audible. Okay, you guys. Let me know in the comments too if the way that you guys are seeing this on YouTube, if you like it better than the way that a normal live video is. I don't know if you see anything different. The way that I set it up was that there was a little kind of like a little scrolling message across, just letting you know that you're stronger than you know and asking you to subscribe and ring the bell if you haven't already. I don't know if you're seeing that. I'm seeing that on my screen, but it's different over here. So, but I kind of like it. It's a little bit easier for me to use. My husband told me what Trump said, but I'm not getting my hopes up. I mean, hey, that's great. Anything towards getting anybody out is huge. I don't know what that means in order to tell you guys. Thank you for saying that though, because I totally lost my train of thought before. There was a press conference at noon and somebody was saying really quick before I got on here, I couldn't really, I was leaving another work meeting to get on here. I just so happened to catch something pop up on my phone. He might have addressed that on this conference that just happened at noon. So if there's anything good in there, I'll let you guys know. Oh, Karen, don't worry. Please don't worry at all if you can't donate. That's absolutely no problem. You're so sweet for saying that, though. Okay, you guys, keep staying strong, keep loving strong, keep supporting one another through this journey because you're one day closer to all being behind you. Lots of love from my heart to all of yours. I will see you, beautiful ladies and gentlemen, in the next one. Bye, guys. Now we have to figure out how to end this.